I'm here with architects. Can you guys please introduce yourselves?
I'm Sam, I sing in the band, and this is Tom.
God only knows what we were born to burn!
You've released a new album. How has it been received so far?
Yeah, really amazing. Yeah, actually, I think it's the first time we've all really been actually quite shocked by it. Really, the response and the sales and how good the reviews have been, and just the overall support from everyone has been really taken us all by surprise. Really.
All right. Am I right when I say that this album sounds a little bit heavier than your previous one?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you decide to do that?
Well, I think through touring the last record and being on, we did quite an extensive run. We did the 100 Days film, and we kind of realised that our favourite songs to play in the set and the songs that were going down the best were the songs that were heavy and a bit more obnoxious than the rest of the stuff that we've been doing before. And I think that's mainly why you're in a band, really, to write music that you can play on tour and play every night and enjoy. So I think kind of went into it kind of trying to do a record that we could probably do, you know, play at least, you know, play the whole record live and have a big hit.
And God is my witness, tells me that all is not fair. Christ, what a sight, but sunrise.
What do you think really makes you stand out as a band?
Well, I think one thing, I don't think there's any sort of gimmick really. There's been nothing about our band. We've never tried to be anything other than like 4 or 5 guys that like playing music, and I think that's quite rare nowadays. There's obviously the bands that we're on tour with now, Straight from the Path and North Lane, and you know there are other bands that do it, but there are so many bands now with gimmicks, and you know they come into it with like, you know, the video and then the stage concepts and all that sort of stuff. Like
sunglasses indoors.
You know, it's like we've never tried to be rock stars. We've never tried to be like anything other than just, you know, just normal people that play music. I think that's maybe what makes us stand out from other people.
Okay. So one thing that I think does really make you stand out from a lot of bands within your genre is your lyrics and the way that like your music is really heavy, but it really has like a meaning behind it as well. And there's like messages behind it. Is that something that you do consciously, or is it just something that happens when you write?
I don't think it was ever like a deliberate like we
now
set
we're gonna
out.
do this.
Yeah. I think it was just kind of, we were learning about a lot of things, and we were watching a lot of documentaries, and kind of we're kind of growing up, you know, we'd kind of grown up being in a band, and I think once we kind of realised that it was getting people talking and having discussions a bit more than, you know, other songs that we'd previously written, it was something that kind of added a whole new element to our band and made things a bit more exciting, where you could kind of create a stir and get people to kind of, you know, kind of go out of their comfort box a little bit and kind of think, oh, am I okay with this? Am I not okay with this? And I think, personally, I think nowadays, I didn't necessarily learn a lot in school, and I feel like I learned a lot through the bands that I listened to when I was growing up, and you know, whether they had political lyrics or, you know, I learned quite a few life lessons through going to shows and stuff, and I think it is important to kind of talk about things that are relevant to these people that aren't being taught it in school and aren't being told it in the newspapers.
What are some of the things that you think people should be educated in school with? Like, I mean, like you say, you haven't been taught a lot in school about like serious topics, but like topics that you're interested in. What are some of these topics that you wish people would get at school?
Well,
God, that's hard.
Yeah, I think mainly the thing is with school is it's all government run, and there's so much money that goes into it. So you're only being taught a select thing. You're told to go home.
You're only being taught to regurgitate
what someone's telling
like,
you.
it's like you're not taking any sort of wisdom, are you? You're just being taught to like fill out like a paper of questions you memorize, even if you answers you memorize, even if you don't truly understand what it's all about. I mean, I studied politics in college, and I didn't learn anything about politics. I learned what polling or voting systems they used in other countries. Like,
do you mean that they didn't like teach you how to think like critically or something?
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. Like, you just don't think critically. You just taught how to, like, regurgitate memorized facts. But I mean, it doesn't actually mean anything.
I think there's a certain way, isn't there? There's kind of like an answer, and if you write down exactly what they want, they give you a mark. Whereas, I think, you know, some of the most interesting things can happen from questions. You know, instead of being just asked, like, here's the flat out answer. Instead of being like, well, here's what it should be here. But how about you throw this into it? You know.
Yeah.
I don't like this sort of set, like it has to be this. You know?
Yeah. So
I don't think anything is set in
Works
stone.
with maths, but
Yeah. And maybe science to a point.
yeah, but even then, like, I don't know, you can still study it and just regurgitate the answer even if you don't actually understand what it means. I think that's a bit of a problem. Whereas with maths, I think you actually have to truly understand it to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't do very well in maths.
Other like values and messages that you're trying to get to your fans?
Well, to care, really. I think
Yeah.
the thing is just to give a shit. Like,
Yeah.
just when you see injustices, like, actually care. I mean, look, I'm not saying we're like out tying ourselves to trees in the Amazon, but you know, like, at least it's just at least getting rid of that like who gives a fuck thing, and then we can worry about the apathy, because you know it crosses my mind that, you know, you can talk about it all you want, but we've got to go do something about it. And you know, I sincerely hope that we all get to that point where we will, you know, maybe do something outside of the band and try and make a difference with direct action. But yeah, just to make people care and for it not to be so like uncool to give a shit about anything, you know.
So you're talking about like the apathy. Like, I remember there was this one line, apathy is the new messiah or something like that. What do you mean with that?
Well, because that's exactly it. That's what we're talking about. Like it's this who gives a fuck the world attitude that people have. Like, you know, who cares? Like, yeah, we're finished. So who cares? Like, that's become like what would be the word? Like the mantra, isn't it, for young people?
It's crazy to think that, you know, if people really knew and actually took a step back and realised how fortunate every single one of them, that we all are really, to actually be alive and to be experiencing this beautiful world that we live in, to then, I mean, you only have to look around and just see, like, take 5 minutes out of your day to appreciate how amazing this world is. Yeah. It's crazy to me that people can even throw around phrases like "fuck the world" and actually not care if it was to end. If there was a way to prolong this life, so say if I had children, that they could see this for 50 more years, or, you know, if we all got together, if the whole world got together, and we could prolong the existence for however many more years, but instead there's more interest in profit and money, and, you know,
it's just profit, really, isn't it? That's it. I mean,
That's all there is.
the world's run by corporations. So.
Yeah.
I'd rather have more money and use oil than use solar power, wind power.
Alright, well, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.